It was interesting and informative, and I thought it was quite a lively video as well. I thought the presenter was a good choice. He seemed to be very natural in front of the camera. I also liked the animations. They were very effective. During the voiceover and the interviews, there were lots of relevant cutaways to focus on, and that was particularly effective.
I think it was quite professionally made and put together. I like the way the video was broken down into different sections.
I like the fact that the facts towards the end could be read on screen, but also could be heard. You could hear the presenter speaking them to you.
I think the music is good, that it's just minimal and just suggestive throughout. I think any more than that and it would be too much.
I really liked the cutaways because like at certain points when the woman was talking I sort of felt like I was like losing interest, but like the cutaways helped me to get my interest back, and it also like they were relevant to what she was talking about.
It's very clear the branding and who the audience is.
Some time was taken in going out and looking at locations to make sure that the video was set out correctly and in line with what was required.
I think the interview and the cutaways match, and they kind of tell a visual story as you're listening to what's being said. It's very clear the branding and who the audience is.
I kind of found that your logo was a bit confusing, like to me, not knowing what your company name was, and obviously a logo is kind of used to like identify a company. Like I sort of felt like your logo was just like an apple with 3 lines going through it. If you were to like improve it, I'd obviously say to like either like put an outline or make the W like more like slanted.
I think you could improve on the sound quality because occasionally it was a little difficult to hear. So I think that would be my major criticism, or something that you have to work on.
About it was the main criticism I've got. To be honest, the only criticism I got is the sound.
If you had more time, maybe more footage of Mohammed walking around the school would be nice, or if you had the potential to show him around a train station, that would be good. Or I also think an interesting idea would be if you got your host, to say, oh, we decided to see how tough is it to navigate the tube, so we've blindfolded our host and led him into the train station.
Yeah, it's a great start. I like how the camera's zooming in slowly and how it starts off with an actual interviewer. Works very well. But this part, I think the quality of the sound drops a bit, so I think that part needs a bit of improving. And, yeah. But the text movement is quite good. And here also, the animation is quite good. It's very easy to understand. Yeah, the animation is very clear cut, I say. Yeah. And that overlap with the overground sign, that works very well with these views of central London. It just immerses the viewer, I guess. And also an interview, obviously needed. It works well together.
Get the same information in the same structure and through your smartphone, so you're able to go around and navigate just like anyone else. In March last year, we had a trial in Pimlico Underground Station, and after that, it attracted quite a lot of media attention. So for the BBC News and in Wired magazine.
It's good to add articles like those just to make it more reliable in a sense, and I think that was a great move. And also just showing the success of the app also makes the user feel like they want to use it, like it influences them better, I guess. Yeah. And also images of the workplace also shows that they've been working hard to create this app.
Okay, so skip it on a bit more.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll. So
it really puts it anywhere where you need to navigate.
Yeah, so back here again, the quality drops in sound, but yeah, you can improve on that. So it's quite
Everything about the anime.
yeah, it's simple, but I think it's very effective. Like, that's what people want. They want simple and effective stuff. Yeah, and good cutscenes of the school. Yeah. And yeah, another interview which works well. And also it's just professional to have interviews, I guess. That's a great transition. And also back to the start, it just connects, I guess. And I think that was a great video.
Hi guys, so it's Marcus here from the Weekly Update, and in today's video I'm kind of just going to be talking you through our feedback that we got from people, and just discussing the issues that they proposed and how we can improve our news packaging in the future. So the first major concern that everyone really spoke about was the quality of the voiceover and the overall sound of the news package. Music-wise, I'd say it was fine, but when we had our presenter Adash reading the dialogue and narrating it, it was very crackly and a lot of the frequencies were distorted. Now, that issue we actually, we would have addressed that in the post-production stage, and we did. And we actually got the sound to a place where we thought was really nice. It was basically, we had perfect sound before. And as soon as we published the video and converted it, then we noticed this change in the sound quality and audio quality. And so we were quite surprised about that. We did try and change it. With more time, we would have been able to change it. I just think it was something to do with the software or something surrounding that. So that was the first main concern, and the second main concern that was brought up was our logo. And what it was that people thought that, as seen in one of the person who was feeding back, they said that it was very hard to understand what the logo, how it related to our brand, which is obviously the Weekly Update brand, because our logo is an apple and there's a W in there, but a lot of people were saying that it was actually hard to see the W, and therefore it wouldn't really connote the idea of our brand and what it's called. So I take that on board. We could have created something that more clearly showed our logo in terms of highlighting the W was brought up, but I did think it was a logo which allowed you to understand what the brand was called. It's a nice looking logo as well. I think it's very hard to make a logo look nice with a W in it, as well as the Apple sign. I did struggle on creating a good logo. The next was the footage of Mohammed, the blind person we interviewed. Now, one of the people that fed back to us did say that maybe it would be sort of lead to a better overall sort of package if we had more shots of Mohammed, because all we really had was him in the interview room, and we were interviewing him. So I think thinking back on it now, that is one thing that I do regret doing. We regret doing. We could have done that, and I think it would have led to an overall better sort of more professional looking news package. Not massively, but in terms of the location and adding to the overall effect, it could have looked quite nice. Obviously, we've got the shots of school children connoting the idea of him being in in secondary school, and yeah. And overall, I mean, people did think it was a good news package, and there was a lot of praise about the animation being very clear and good. So yeah, I think we can take those few points on board, and the next time we do something like that, like this, I'm sure we can produce something of a slightly higher standard.